Hello and welcome back. This is the second video in our series, and in this video we're going to be showing you some more options in Teps-X. So again, I have Teps-X in the main menu. I'm going to go down and going back into my Teps settings. I'm going to show you how to make a Chromakey template and how to make it where when you start Teps-X, that template will show up as default. Right here you have Chromakey preferences, and it'll tell me what Chromakey template I have set up as default right here, and this is where we're going to set it up. So I'm going to come back to this in just a minute. We're going to go quickly down here and go into setup utilities, and I want to set up a Chromakey template. A template is basically just the background that you're going to use for your particular event. So I'm going to hit Chromakey templates, and you have several options: create a new one, open an existing one. You have a utility here so that you can go in. I'll show you. You can go in and if there was any templates in here, you can either delete them or you can move them to a different folder. We'll get into that in another video. I just deleted some out of there. I should have left them in there for this demo, but I took them out so that we could start fresh. So we're going to go into Chromakey templates. We're going to create a new one. And my layout, I'm going to be printing 4x6. Most of the time I create my backgrounds in landscape. So I'm going to say 6x4. And the reason I do that, I just found that I shoot mostly in landscape when I'm doing green screens, because I hardly ever get a person that wants to take one by themselves. They always want to take it with a group of friends. We usually build the portrait one, but we usually always use the landscape one. And so that's just more common. The first thing you'll do up here at the top, you have what's called the graphic object tool. And I'm going to put my background that I want to use for my green screen on there. So I grab this graphic object tool and I pull it down and I drop it on this canvas. And it opened up my folder where I have all my graphics at. And this could be anywhere. You could search wherever you have it on your background or on your network. I'm going to use one, this Metro one. I did a job for Metro here in Houston, and I named my files back is the background and front is the foreground. And so I want to put the background on there. The image that you're going to see is the background. So I'm going to hit back and I'm going to say choose. And you notice it came in there, but it's not the right size, and I don't want to have to pull all these little arrows down to make it the right size. So to real easily readjust that image, if you just hold down the command and hit R, it'll put that image in that template full size. Okay, the next thing you want to do is this is going to be the picture that you're taking of the person at the event. Up here at the top, you have an image object tool. It looks like a little man, real easy to remember. Pull that down, drop it in there, and you'll get this little dialog box. And just hit OK, hit OK again. And you notice it's not the full size of the frame. Again, hit the command R, and it'll make that image full size. Now, real important, you have to tell Teps that you're using green screen. So you want to tell it that this image that you just brought in here, that you just took, is shot on a green background or a blue background. So you click this little box over here that says use Chromakey and hit apply. It now knows that that's a green screen background, a green screen image. All right, and the next thing I want to do is I want to bring my border in, or my logos or whatever I'm going to print in front of the picture in here. So I go back to the graphic object tool, drag it down, go back to my Metro folder, and I always name my foreground front. And Teps uses Photoshop documents for these fronts, but you have to use an alpha channel to make it work. And I'll show y'all how to do that in my next video. All right, so I'm gonna hit front, I'm going to hit choose. And again, Command R to make it full size. And now I want to save this so that I can use it. So I'm going to go to save. And it's asking me, where do I want to save it? Well, I'm going to make a new category. So I'm going to hit new category. I'm going to call it Metro Test, because I already have one in there called Metro Test. And now it's going to ask me, what do I want to call this particular background? This is important. I'm going to call it Metro underscore. Make sure you use the underscore. And then how you want it to orientate the picture when you take it. Teps-X either calls it portrait or landscape. Well, being this is landscape, I'm going to type in landscape. Now, if I make another template and I make it a portrait orientation, then I would put portrait at the end, and it will know, Teps will know when you shoot your camera, if you shoot it horizontal, it's going to put them in the landscape. If you shoot it vertical, it's going to put it in the portrait mode. It just automatically does that if you name your files right. All right, so we're done. I can quit and go back to my main. I'm going to go into preview images. I'm going to go back to my demo images just so y'all can see this really quick. And it normally don't do this. It did that because I deleted a folder out there, but I'm going to select Metro Test. It should have automatically done that. And now it's wanting me to tell it what template. It normally doesn't do this. So I may make an addition to this video to show you how it really should have worked. But you got the idea. It just walk you through it. It started in a category over here called Metro Test, and here's the background we just made. If I go in here right now and I select this image by putting a check mark next to it and hitting my print to file button, hit OK. If I go back over here in my Finder and I go to my print to file folder, we should see that it already sent that to the print to file. If I'd had a printer hooked up, and here's an example like I was trying to show you before in the previous video of how Teps-X has a bug that doesn't refresh your screen. All my menus, all my thumbnails have disappeared. It'll freak out your salespeople. And it'll freak you out the first couple of times. So just go down here to the little camera icon, double click on it, and there's everything popping back up. It refreshed fine. I do have printers hooked up to this computer, so I could hit a Shinko right now, hit OK, and it's going to send that to my Shinko printer, and it could go down here. It's not showing that my printer is connected, so the USB must be unplugged. But there it is. It's sitting there waiting for that printer to come online, and it would have printed this print already. Again, go back to the camera, go back to your main menu, and that is pretty much it for Teps-X setting up a Chromakey background. Hope you enjoyed it.